strong focus on what I want. My back! Oh, my back!
Alright, so I just watched that Spider-Man movie for the second time now. And, yeah, I got some problems. Even more now. Now that I've looked at the whole movie, I didn't look at my phone once. I was trying to really see if there's anything I truly missed. And I found even more problems with it. Now, I'm not even going to get into the whole, Flash Thompson calling his book Flashpoint, which is a, huge shot over the bow that I missed the first time to that Flash movie. Really on the nose that they did that. And I'm surprised I missed it the first time. I bet a lot of people missed it in general. Yeah, not a coincidence they call that book Flashpoint in this movie, right? But anyway, let's get into a big gripe I have with the film. And that's the fact that this movie could end easily right at the beginning. If Spider-Man isn't an idiot, just not an idiot, and doesn't interrupt the spell like 4 or 5 times, then the spell probably works. Like, why does Aunt May need to know you're Spider-Man? Because you don't want to have a little argument with her again? Like, that's your whole reasoning, Spider-Man? And I guess Aunt May has to pay with her life because Spider-Man makes that mistake, right? Very weird film. Very weird direction the film wants to go. But also, like, the whole reason Spider-Man goes to Doctor Strange to do this spell in the first place is because he gets denied from MIT. Him and all his friends get denied from a college they want to go to. That's it. Yeah, the whole world knows that he's Spider-Man and his friends are Spider-Man, but they actually blow through that in like the first 10 minutes. And they get to the point where Daredevil's sitting with them, and he's telling them that they're going to be fine, that they can't really press them with any charges. They're actually good to go. And he turns it Happy and he says, "You're the one's fucked. You need a good lawyer." So right there, they end the whole like Law and Order issue of it. And by the way, the FBI guy that was interrogating them, he's from Succession. He's actually much better in that show. So, I highly recommend everybody go watch Succession. So, back to Spider-Man's ridiculous plot in this movie and all the dumb decisions that lead to the beginning of this movie. Like, it's like, how could somebody make so many dumb decisions in a row? We're about to find out with Tom Holland's Spider-Man. And granted, it's also another dumb decision by Doctor Strange to actually give Spider-Man this chance to change the world and brainwash, the globe. All because he feels kind of bad for Peter Parker. Oh, boo-hoo. Everybody knows I'm Spider-Man. A whole 5 people's lives are affected. Spider-Man, Peter Parker, Aunt May, the Ned kid, MJ, Happy. That's a grand total of 5 people. So, Doctor Strange says, I'm willing to risk every universe, every multiverse, to fix 5 people's lives. Because that's an even trade, right? In case something goes wrong, it's an even trade that we all get to suffer because a few people can't get into MIT. Doctor Strange thinks that's an appropriate, trade-off for every universe. We got to get these couple people into MIT. And after they do the spell, and, Peter Parker fucks it all up because he's an idiot. After they do that, Doctor Strange goes, "The only reason you came to me is because you wanted to get an MIT? Why didn't you just talk to them face to face?" And that's another dumb thing by Spider-Man that could have avoided the whole movie. He could have pleaded with, the council at MIT or whatever, and probably convinced them to let him in because he's a superhero. But of course, our Tom Holland Peter Parker did not think of that. So just by Peter Parker being stupid, we're going to go through this whole movie. I mean, I'm not going to talk through the whole movie right now. I'm just going to go over a few more things that fucking bothered me on the second viewing, way more so than the first viewing, because the first viewing, I was looking at my phone a lot, and I was just paying attention to the action scenes, which, there's a couple in this movie that are pretty fun. I like it when Green Goblin is smashing Spider-Man through the floors of this, apartment building or whatever. That's fun. He's doing a lot of power bombs on him, like we're in wrestling. Neato. Of course, why Green Goblin is in the film is a mystery to everybody. In fact, the whole idea of this film just keeps falling apart the more you think about it, because they're not transcending time with this like magic spell. They're just crossing into other universes. So I'm assuming they're all coming from the same point in time, right? But it can't be, because most of these villains in this movie get killed off at some point in the other movies. So they all have to be coming from different points in time, which makes the movie make even less sense. You know, it's already a stretch to go multiverses, but now you're telling me it's different points in time that they're all coming together. Like Otto says, oh, you know, Spider-Man kills Green Goblin, Norman Osborn, but Spider-Man also kills Doc Ock, you know, not intentionally, but still led to his death. So Doc Ock doesn't know that yet, that he dies by Spider-Man's hands. And all this is even more confusing and convoluted when you get to the Sam Raimi Spider-Man just coming through the portal, you know, in his regular civilian clothes. And you all said I need to pay attention to that. That I need to pay attention to fucking Tobey Maguire coming through in his civilian clothes like he just got out of Starbucks, you know, coming through the portal. He's like, where am I? You know, this is what I'm supposed to be paying attention to. You know, this is like the grand entrance I missed the first time around, that everybody was like, oh, how'd you miss that? You know, like, how did you not miss it is the question, really. Because it's so insignificant, and the whole scene is just played for laughs, and it's just all a joke fest. The second these Spider-Men all come together, there's not a serious line of dialogue, really. They all just joking off each other and stuff. Oh, except for that one scene when on the rooftop, and they talk about, you know, with great power comes great responsibility. Uncle Ben said that to us. And apparently Tom Holland's Spider-Man is just learning this crucial Spider-Man moral virtue in the third movie. I didn't know that. I haven't been paying attention to these dumb movies. So I don't know where the hell Tom Holland's Spider-Man is. But Jesus Christ, took you 3 movies to learn with great power comes great responsibility? That's where we're going? How much more lazier can you get as a writer of Spider-Man? We're going back to the well. With great power comes great responsibility. Yeah, we know that. You know, I've had, 3 Sam Raimi Spider-Man movies. I had those amazing Spider-Man movies. Like, we've been over this thousands of times. That's the whole crux of the movie. The real moral of the movie is don't be an idiot. I think that should be the real moral of the movie. But let's get back to all these villains that are in the movie that are pulled from different points in time, because they all died at certain points in their universes anyway. Because all that gets super confusing when Tobey Maguire comes up, because he says at one point that he lost a friend, he died in his arms. He's talking about Harry Osborn, from Spider-Man 3. By the time, Spider-Man 3 comes around, Doc Ock and Green Goblin are dead. So this Tobey Maguire is from Spider-Man 3, or after Spider-Man 3. And Doc Ock is from Spider-Man 2, and Green Goblin's from Spider-Man 1. Do you see how ridiculous this is? Do you see how stupid this is? They're not only coming from different universes, but they're coming from different time points in those universes. Yeah, they didn't think this one through, buddy. They did not think this movie through. Sounds like they wrote this movie in about a month. And I was actually able to see this movie with a crowd of people. And of course, everybody freaked out for Andrew Garfield coming through the portal. You would think Andrew Garfield is like the most popular Spider-Man there's ever been. The way the crowd popped when he came through the portal. You would have thought like he was the main Spider-Man. And I think, yeah, he's definitely going to get his own movie now. If anybody's listening to crowd noise, he'd definitely get in that Spider-Man 3. Amazing Spider-Man 3. And once again, like I said in my last video, it's not about a good story. It's just about that fan service. It's about that nostalgia hit for you. None of it means anything. Everything that happens in this movie can be reversed by the end. Because we just established that not only Doctor Strange, can go to other multiverses, but he can also travel through time because he's pulling these villains through different points in time. So how can we not bring Aunt May back to life? How can we not fix that? I don't know. And by the end of the movie, it's like Tom Holland doesn't learn a fucking goddamn thing anyway. He's still a lying idiot in the movie by the end. The last thing he says to MJ is like, I'll find you, it's something like that, As in, you're going to forget about me, but, I'm going to start back up. Don't worry, I'm coming back after you, girl. Straight up lying straight to her face, because later on, he totally bails on trying to get close to her again, right? He just runs away. Great move, Spider-Man. You lied to her. I mean, she can't remember you lied to her, but, you lied to her. And, good on Spider-Man. I think he could do much better than that MJ anyway. I'm sure that's what he was thinking, too, in that moment. He's like, why am I working so hard for this bitch? I can get anybody. I'm Spider-Man. You know what I'm saying? Like, I can get anybody here. That's probably what he was thinking in those last moments right there at the end of the movie. But yeah, I stand by everything I said. Watching this again just confirms everything I thought about this. This movie is a giant meme movie. There's even a part in the movie where Tobey Maguire's stretching out his back. He's like, oh, my back. Just like that fucking classic Pizza Time meme where he keeps hitting the cars and going, oh, my back. Like, most of the nostalgia from this movie is coming from fucking memes. And how they always look at Andrew Garfield as like the lesser Spider-Man because his movies didn't do good and everybody made fun of those movies and made a bunch of memes about those movies. So he's the lame Spider-Man. That's what the movie is. That's what you're watching. And it's like, this is good enough. This is what y'all want. This is blowing your minds. Thank God I didn't have to really pay for the movie. It was free, again. Using some of those AMC gift cards, of course. But yeah, nothing makes sense in this movie. The fucking idiot friend Ned. That guy, that was stupid too. The way he's like, I could open a portal. Oh, but I didn't learn how to close it. I don't know how to close it. Why didn't y'all figure that out before you even fucking did the mission? It's just like a bunch of group of idiots. Doctor Strange with that horrible fucking line, let's Scooby-Doo this shit. Like, Jesus, it's like a 16-year-old is writing the script and going off the memes you've seen on Twitter. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's what a lot of this movie feels like. And a lot of the emotional moments from the movie are only going to really hit if you're a huge fan of the Spider-Man movies and you've seen all of them, like, recently, and you can remember all this shit from them. Like, I went with somebody that didn't watch the Amazing Spider-Man movies, and she had no idea who fucking Andrew Garfield was. And she had no idea why everyone was losing their minds in the theater. She's like, oh, yay, it's Andrew. You know what I'm saying? Like, she had no idea about his movies or what happened in them. So when he saves MJ, it's kind of like this nothing moment. It kind of just like goes right past her. You know what I'm saying? Like, she's like, why is he staring at her so long? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's how it comes off. Comes off kind of weird. But anyway, yeah, I think this one's going on just as long as the last one. I just keep thinking of more and more problems with the movie. And after seeing it a second time, clearly didn't miss anything. Looked at that fucking screen the whole fucking time. Oh my God. And the Jamie Foxx thinking, oh, I thought you were black. When's there going to be a black Spider-Man? That got a belly laugh out of me and the friend I went with. Like, belly laugh. So, some of the jokes landed. Of course, some of the jokes landed. You tell 100 jokes, percentage-wise, some of them should work. It's just so obvious how lazy the movie is. And it could have been something really, really good. Like, you know what I'm saying? It could have been like Spider-Man's greatest fucking hits. All in one fucking movie. You see the 3 different Spider-Men in their different universes. And then they all get thrown together. Instead of fucking, all these Spider-Men, fucking uniting in the last 40 minutes of the film. When there's barely any movie left. And all you could do with them is just have them, like, quip at each other. Like, they can't even have a fucking conversation about anything. They're all quipping at each other. And of course, they have to say, with great power comes great responsibility. Again, like we don't already know that. That's my piece about this movie. Notice more problems with it the second time through. And I stand behind Norman Osborn is out of character. Because when he asked for that burrito, that's something Norman Osborn would never do. He would never do that. You know what I'm saying? Like, what kind of billionaire, that likes fruitcake at fucking Thanksgiving dinners is going to ask for a burrito? Just saying. Anyway. That's going to do it for now. I'll see you all in the next one. Bye-bye.
Excellent work today, Parker. Keep it up.
You're looking fine, man.
Nothing's worrying
Me!